TV, reacting to us beating Boro 3-2. Before we get into it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go check out the merch, get your comments in, let me know your thoughts on today's game. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds before I delve into it. So while we're waiting, apologies for not being around on after the Swansea game. I'm just doing mad hours at work at the minute, so I actually watched the game while working, and then I'm not feeling great, even a bit run down, which I think pretty much everyone in the UK is at the minute with this thing that's going around. So yeah, apologies for not doing a post-match the other day, but we're here now, so all good. Evening, Danny. Saw you in the chat, mate, over on Joe's Watch Along. Hope you're well, mate. So yeah, 3-2. And I think before we get into the game, I want to start with one thing and one thing only. And no, it's not the fact we've signed Marshall Mathers. It's the young 17-year-old Archie Gray, who I thought in that first half especially was absolutely incredible. 17 years old, this kid. It's just insane how good he is. You know, I said in the chat on Joe's stream, I was like, obviously playing a different position at the minute, but he's really giving me sort of Bellingham vibes when he was at Birmingham. You know, that level of just brilliance and, you know, noise around him and all the rest of it. And I don't think it's unwarranted. I think he's absolutely superb. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic, especially in that first half. Great tackle near full time as well when it was needed. So yeah, let's get that out of the way right now. Young Archie Gray is my man of the match. I thought he was absolutely superb. You know, there's probably other contenders, certainly out of that front four, and I thought Byram in the first half as well was very good. Well, very good overall. I didn't think he was bad second half. Defence, my concerns, let's mention them now. Defence, you know, first goal for me, Mellier's at least got to be getting a hand to it. Just seems to fall down onto his knee rather than flinging himself at it. Probably done because it's gone near post. He's expecting it to go across him, but I still think he's got to get a hand to it. And the second goal is actually, for me, it's not down to an individual person. I think it's bad defensive organisation. There, is it Latte La? He shouldn't be allowed to run right across the box like he does there, to climb all over Byram. Someone's got to block the run there for me. But, you know, I need to see it back to double check. But that's the issue with the second goal for me. Our goals, obviously, are 2 6'5" wingers, both scoring headers. Great headers from both of them. And obviously, the right man on the penalties today. And, you know, was going nowhere but in that. So, you know, 3-2. Boro are a very good team. You know, I think they started the season slowly, but, you know, as horrible as it is to say, because of, you know, where he used to play, Carrick looks like a decent manager to me. You know, he seems to be tactically astute and well set up. And this was never going to be an easy game today. So to come out of it, again, not playing particularly well, not being particularly bad either. I think there's probably there'll be some overreactions on either side to the performance. You know, there's a lot of games being ticked off now, and we've not played particularly well in the last couple, but we've taken up all the points. So that's all you can ask. Lack of substitutions in the second half was rattling me. I'm not going to lie, that was annoying me. I do think Daniel Farker, who I really admire generally as a manager, I think he's a great manager, but I think he's got to be more proactive with his changes. I really do. You know, when they went down to 10 men, I thought, right, let's get Willie Nyonto on straight away, pretty much. Let's get potentially Jaden Anthony on. Let's get Jed Spence on. You know, I wanted to see the right-hand side of Spence and Nyonto push Archie into midfield and bring Ampadu off for me, who I thought was, you know, a little bit hit and miss today. I think he's tired. You know, he's played an insane amount of games as Ampadu. And I think, you know, I'm very concerned with 7 games this month that we're going to run players like Ampadu and Rutter and others absolutely into the ground. We've got to make a little bit more of the squad we've got, and the squad in its entirety is probably still 2 or 3 players off, but there's enough on that bench to be using a few of them earlier than he did today. So that was a frustration, but another 3 points. We remain third. Top 3 all won. I don't know any other results today, but I know Ipswich won. Obviously, Leicester won in the early game with pretty much a last-minute goal. Although I think that from what I heard, they bossed the game and deserved the win. So top 3 remains as is. Points difference remains as is, and all we can do is just keep winning our games. We can only control what we can control, right? It is what it is. So yeah, as Danny's just said, it's a week off now. We've got to rest these players up because the next batch of games comes thick and fast. And as much as we've got a pretty good squad in this league, you take 1 or 2 of those starters out, certainly from that front 4, and all of a sudden it begins to feel a little bit light in places, So yeah, we've just got to be a bit careful, and that's where I think Farke should be utilising the squad more in the second half, especially when the opposition have gone down to 10 men, and it was a second yellow. I'm not sure about the crux challenge on Dan James. I think he goes over the top of the ball, probably connects with the top of his foot on James's shins, which saves him from a red card. I don't think it was Stud's first, but not a great challenge either way. What else? I thought Gio Rutter, for all that he's great, and I'm a massive fan of his, he's got to be better in front of goal. He should have made it 4-2. It was a cut. The keeper did save it, but the keeper shouldn't be being allowed to save that clean through. You've got to be burying that. So yeah, we should have put the game to bed. But you can say win's a win, And then let's get on to the hottest topic of the moment: the fact that we've signed Marshall Mathers, obviously looking for a career change. The old Slim Shady up front. I was going to call him something else, but it's rude. It's not fair on him. So Slim Shady up front. I can do nothing but laugh. I mean, a bit of reinventing himself. I don't know, but I mean, his hair, his choice. But the older Slim Shady jokes going around were making me laugh, entertain me for the last 15 minutes of the game anyway. This is. I didn't even think he was. He's had more influential games than today, but I'm also not sure he was quiet as such. But yeah, I think we all agree on the last part of that statement, mate. Is what a class footballer he is. It's just his movement, the way he shows a player a ball, and then as the player goes to shove a foot in, he's just gone. He's a fantastic little footballer. What a baller he is. And there was questions around Chris Somerville, maybe a season and a half ago, and I think many fans would have been like, he's sounding like maybe a bit of a problem child, and maybe it's time for him to be moved on. Now look, so yeah, good times. Yeah, I mean, that's saying something, it mate. It is whiter than mine. Enforcing this on yourself, I don't understand. Mine is not by choice. So yeah, it's a hard game to sort of delve into massively. I thought there was really good bits, and really, poor bits. I thought poor bits. I thought the defending for the 2 goals was poor. Like I said, Melier for the first one, just got to at least get a hand to that. And the second one, Latte La, great name. Latte La is allowed to run right across the sort of 12-yard line, let's call it, on the penalty spot, that sort of line, and then, climb. I think Byram gets the ball, heads it onto Latte La, and it goes in. There was a few people blaming Melier on the second as well. I agree he's sort of rooted, but I think it's that double bounce the ball just leaves him planted. So I'm not really portioning any blame on him for that one. I think sometimes when we concede any kind of goal, it can be easy to, point fingers at the keeper. But for the first one, he has to do better, for me personally. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, for those that weren't on, our two towering 6'5" wingers, both scoring headers. I thought our pressing from the front today was very good. That front four, front five, if you include Kamara, come stepping in with them as well. Especially in the first half, I thought their pressing was very good. And when we did get it, we were in really dangerous positions. What concerned me today was if they managed to play through that first press, there was an awful big gap then between that press and sort of the back five of our team as such. But Boro are a good team, and Carrick sets them up to play that way. We play sort of medium risk football at times with the way we play out from the back and try and draw them onto us. And Carrick clearly does the same, and it works for them an awful lot. I mean, luckily we got more goals than them today. So, like I say, they're a good team. We expect to win every week in the Championship with this squad, but we won't win every week in the Championship with this squad. And there is going to be frustrating games. And as much as we have won today, for me, second half was frustrating. And some of that is down to the manager as well, because changes should have happened far sooner, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of much else that happened. There's probably loads, but straight after full time, I can't remember. Like, there was a bit of a bonkers game, wasn't it? But at the same time, not an awful lot going on for a lot of the time. Chicka, Slim Shady. I mean, that hair, bless him. I mean, it's his choice, and he's not the first to do it, and he won't be the last. It just came as a surprise, because I think from the TV footage it was showing Nonto sort of pulling his socks up, stood in the technical area waiting to come on. Then all of a sudden Bamford appeared out the dugout, and at first I thought he had a beanie on. Sort of had to look twice, and I was like, oh no, that's the hair. So I mean, fair play to him. Whatever floats your boat. I did once dye my hair many years ago. I was in my early 20s. I actually had just blonde flashes put in it, ended up looking like a badger, which I suppose I do now, really. But again, this isn't self-inflicted. This is the way it is now. But yeah, strange one. So I think going through the team, let's work through them. Not give them a score as such, but have a comment on the performance. Meslier, not much to do again. Should do better with the first. I'll let people draw their own conclusions on the second. For me, he's not done anything particularly wrong for the second, but I know some people have got different opinions on that. Archie Gray at right back, my man of the match. It's one of the best performances I've seen from a young player, certainly in that first half for a long, long time. And I don't just mean for Leeds United. I thought that was an exceptional performance, especially in that first half. What a footballer he is. And as I said at the beginning of the stream, really does give me sort of Bellingham at Birmingham level vibes with how good this lad is for his age. Moving Rodon, I thought a couple of shaky moments, but pretty solid. Pascal, I don't know if he's come back from injury a little bit quick, but still looks maybe half a yard off it. Stepping out is fine, but he played a few risky balls as well that we got challenged on. Sometimes if there's not a pass on, just get rid, put it down the line, do something. Don't feel like you have to make that pass into the middle. For me, if it's not on, it's not on, especially when you've got a team pressing you. We saw last week, in midweek, if a team's pressing you, put one over the top. One of our players might run onto it, they might not, but the ball's they're not going to score from down that end of the pitch. And I'm not saying do it all the time. I don't want to be a long ball team, but every so often, if you're getting pressed hard, just get rid. Left back Byram, very, very good again especially in that first half again. Thought he had a couple of challenges put to him in the second half, but generally dealt with them pretty well. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I hold my hands up about Sam Byram. I was like, bringing him back, really? What a revelation he's been this season. So fair play to Sam. Hasn't aged a day, unlike some of us. But yeah, what a player he's been all season. He's got to be in in the talks at the minute for player of the half season, let's call it, at Christmas. Moving into the middle, Ampadu looks tired for me. Looks like he needs a break. Next game, I'd be moving Archie in there with Kamara and giving Ethan a break. He's played an awful lot of football, international, and I think he's played every minute for us. Someone might correct me on that. So, but that's no slight on Ampadu. He's been fantastic pretty much all season, but it just looks a little jaded to me, and this is what's concerning me now with Farke not just rotating a little bit more. Kamara I thought was solid without being spectacular today. I can't really overly comment on his game. I don't remember too much either way. Let's get to the front four. Gio Rutter, he's great to watch, but my God, the lad's got to learn to shoot, or how to shoot, sorry. He had the P roller in the second half to the keeper. He had the one in the second half where he's got to score when he's clean through. Keeper touched it round the post. They got a goal kick for it. Keeper does touch it round the post, but the keeper shouldn't be getting anywhere near that. It's got to go in. Great to watch at times, infuriating at other times. No question of his work rate though. Pirou, great penalty. Good flashes from him today without seeing an awful lot, but gets his name on the score sheet from the penalty spot. Good work. And then the two wide man, Crete and Dan James. It's great to see Dan James getting a run of form. Another goal today. I actually thought, he's chipped just before, and you can see what he's trying to do. Sort of just lift it over the keeper's legs, didn't have enough off on it, and their player got back and cleared it. But he didn't put his head down. He stayed in the mix and then rose like a salmon at the back post for his goal. Cree obviously getting a header as well from an Archie Gray cross, which was, I think, flicked up from their defender. So, good without being great, frustrating at times. Defence needs to square itself away a little bit. Keeping situation slightly concerns me. I don't want to be overly dramatic about it. Again, it's easy to point fingers, but is there still just one too many times where you look at the keeper and go, should do better there. There's the Huddersfield goal. There's today where I think he's got to do better. And I'm not trying to dig him out here. And, he was on my shit list, so to speak, at the end of last season, but I'm not going to lie, 90% of the squad were. And he's not done too much wrong this season. I think his distribution is still improving. So that's good, but still one too many mistakes for me. Young keeper still, but, and I saw a lot of people in the chat on Watch Along saying, he's better than Darlow, though. And if that's the case, then the overall sort of goalkeeper situation at Leeds slightly concerns me. Again, I'm not going to get any more excited than that, because I don't think there's any need. We're sat third in the table, for goodness sake, you know what I mean? Not like there's absolute howlers every week from him. So, yeah, just a bit of a do better on a couple of things, but nothing dramatic. So, yeah, that's sort of my take on it. I thought Boro were decent without being exceptional, and we got away with one in the second half when they hit the post, and then rode on, got the block afterwards, and that for me was every telltale sign that Farke should have needed at that point to change it up, but it still took him a while, and that's probably my biggest criticism of the whole day. I guess against the whole squad and manager is changes needed to happen sooner, because I think we could have put them to bed. Some Jed Spence and Nonto pace down that right-hand side, get Ethan off because he's tired, and put Archie into midfield, who was having a great game. I'm not overly upset with Bamford coming on. It doesn't enthuse me massively either, but I'm not overly upset with it. He did have a good header from the corner as well, which keeper does okay with. I don't think there's much more Bamford could do with that header. Got it on target. Those shiny blonde locks connecting with the ball. I just can't help laughing at it. Sorry, Patrick, I shouldn't laugh. It's a choice, but it's just taking me a bit unawares as the old Slim Shady look. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. I'm going to scroll through your comments now. I think it's mainly people wishing people Merry Christmas. But let me know. Yeah, we're all playing on the Slim. Bless him. Hey, if it brings him luck and he scores a lot, we'll all be doing it. Maybe not, but yeah, I love the optimism. I'm not going to disagree. You know, I think December's a very big month. I think December's a very big month, and if we get through it, and you know, we're closer to, you know, let's not forget 2-3 weeks back we could have been 17 points behind Leicester. The gap's not massive in this league, and when the games are coming thick and all you can do is concentrate on yourselves, keep picking up the points, and we're doing that at the minute. You know, still unbeaten at Ellen Road. Been close a couple of times like today, but still unbeaten at Ellen Road. That's great confidence for the boys. So yeah, there's a lot to be happy about. You know, January's around the corner now. Let's hope there's a couple of additions, a couple of tweaks here and there where I think we just need a little bit more. But again, there's no major overhauls needed. But I think a couple of additions. I still think we need a proper 10 in there just to knit things together a little bit more, especially with games like today where I think it needs someone who can put the foot on the ball or dictate the pace of play and all the rest of it. And I sort of hate mentioning his name because he's no longer with us, but also love mentioning his name because he's one of my favourite ever players. We need a Pablo in there. Let's get Jammy's comment up. Hope you're well, buddy. I am, mate. Yeah, you know, third in the league. We're into December. Still undefeated at Ellen Road. You know, Middlesbrough aren't a bad team by any stretch. By any stretch of the imagination, they're a pretty good team at this level. With a tactically astute manager in Carrick. You know, we can all hate him for his past, but tactically astute manager. So yeah, I am happy, mate. Definitely, a win's a win, pal. You know, I think I'm just trying to look a little bit beyond today, and you know, the little things that need to happen, maybe slightly differently. And again, it's only my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not Daniel Farker, so and he's not going to listen to this numpty as he sat in his office in his house talking on YouTube. But it's just, I just want to see subs a little bit sooner sometimes. That's all. I thought it was left a little bit too late. But 3 points against Boro, absolutely chuffed to bits with that. There's a lot to be happy about with it. You know, 2 wins in a week again. So it's all good times. And again, I said it after the Rotherham game. You know, I said we tend to bounce back well from setbacks, and we have done. So all good in the hood. Let's have a look at this from John, because I think this is a good discussion point. I think generally you could question any of them, right? Because until they actually are there, I think we know Cree's good enough. I think he showed enough when we're in the Premier League to say he's good enough, especially when he'll have another season under his belt. You know, Piro's not been tested there, so we see. But I think in the Premier League, he has to be played as a 9. Gio, if Gio could get his shooting boots on, I mean, it'd be just incredible. So I think Gio's good enough. Dan James has been in the Premier League, you know. A lot of people say he's championship level, but for me, if a team gets you up there, you've got to bolster it. Of course you have. But the people that come in have still got to earn the right to play. So I think if this front four takes us up, it's the front four that, unless we sign a worldie, you know, obviously. But if this front four takes us up, it's the front four that is strong enough to start the season in the Premier League, and anyone coming in has got to earn the right to play there and take the shirt off them. But I definitely, you know, the one with no doubt against his name for me is Chris Somerville. All day long, he's a Premier League player for me. So yeah, But, you know, Tam, let's hope we're having that conversation at the end of the season, eh? Let's hope we're sat on a stream here together having that conversation, because it would be a very successful season if we can be talking about what the 24-25 Premier League side should look like. So, yeah, I hope you're all happy. You know, I'm sure there was quite a lot of tension, quite a lot of stress in that second half at times, was from me. But we got it over the line. Job's done. Week off now. Go and rest up. Rest a couple of those tired players. You know, your Ethan Ampadu's. You know, wrap Archie in bloody cotton wool. Wrap that lad in cotton wool and don't let him move till the next time we need to play football. What a footballer! What a footballer! I mean, it sounds like I am gushing over a kid, football wise. You know what I mean? But what a footballer! You know, the bloodline's strong in that boy, and it showed today. Oh God, Aronson to come back. Jesus, John, are you trying to kill me off, man? It's quite a few, but to be fair, there's quite you know, Vober's been making noises as well, hasn't he? You know, my time might not be done. Sorry for me. The ones that went, there's no route back in for me. You lot know what I'm like. You know what I'm like around, you know, stay, fight for the shirt, fight to put right the wrongs that you were part of. And a lot of these players couldn't wait to get out the door. So, yeah. Players like Aronson, Vober, you know, not so much Jack Harrison, Sinistera, you're done. You're done. But that's just my opinion. People's opinions will be different. And that's absolutely fine. That's what it's all about, right? So, yeah, we've done about half an hour. It's been nice to see a few. It's been ages since I've done a live, so I'm not surprised the numbers are a bit low. But please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as ever. Let me know your thoughts on the game if you've seen this after I've stopped the stream. And get your comments in, especially about Archie Gray and what you think about him, because for me, potentially this kid's the next big name coming through. You know, people will laugh at that and go, whoa, 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 just ease off. But people were saying these things about Jude Bellingham, and at the time I was like, whoa, I mean, it seems a bit insane this early when he was at Birmingham. And now look what he's doing. He's absolutely ripping up trees at Real Madrid, you know. And I see that level of ability and temperament and maturity in Archie. I really do. I really do. And, you know, that's one of the big reasons we've got to get up this year. We've got to get up this year. Because, you know, not just Archie, but Chris Somerville, Gio Rutter, teams will come knocking for them. And, you know, I wouldn't wish bad on any of them if the right money comes in. You know, that for me is where it makes the club's hand almost unplayable. Very different to the Rats who jumped the sinking ship when we were relegated. So, you know, let's hope we do go, and we're looking forward to Archie and Cree and the others, you know, hopefully tearing into the Premier League a little bit. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Archie, because I just think he's phenomenal. You know, he's not even playing in his preferred position at the minute. He's playing right back, but he's not even playing in his preferred position, and he's still. I mean, how many times in that first half did he have their player on absolute toast? On toast. You know, and I like the fact he had a bit of fire in his belly as well. I know it's all pushing and shoving in football, do you know what I mean? But, you know, I like to see that, because it's easy for players to think they can bully a 17-year-old kid, and Archie's not having that. So it's just wicked. And he's a Leeds boy. He's a Leeds boy. So it's good. It's very exciting. You know, I always say about let's just calm our passions about young players. Let's let them develop, all the rest of it. But it's very hard not to get excited about Archie. He's a little bit special. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Like I said, we're so close to 30k now subscribers. So please, 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 if you don't, please do hit that subscribe button. hit the notification bell, get your comments in, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Go check out the merch that Tash sorts out. It's quality stuff. I've got the White Peacocks t-shirt, and it's great. Love it. You know, I'm 44 now, so I'm not potentially a big one for wearing the club shirt anymore. That's just a personal thing. I'm just not, and I'm not going to pay the £350,000 it is now for the merch. So stuff like that is a great alternative, and it's a great t-shirt. So go check that out. All the rest of it, and yeah, I'll be back hopefully after the next game, all being well. I've got a mad week next week work-wise. I'm down in that there London, so I'll have to take some antihistamines on Monday morning before I head down there until Thursday. Good fun, isn't it? So yeah, I'll catch you all soon. Been a pleasure. Good to see a few of the regulars in the chat. Alison, Derek, Jamie, all the others I've mentioned. You know, you're good eggs. You've been around here for a long time, and it's always nice having a chat with you and your support. I'll leave it there, folks. I will catch you later. Cheers. Bye.